on the Beehive Road in the northeast of England, a notoriously deadly road. It's not really that deadly. In the M2 that he hates. Why have I titled the video the way I've titled it? It's... Hang on a minute, I need to get this out of my system. So yeah, I've done a few videos on the channel, and they always say, everyone says that the negative comments jump out above everything else, and they do. I've been a YouTuber for 10 years in another world, and I've had death threats, I've had the law, right? Every fucking up and down you could possibly have as a YouTuber. And since I've done a few car videos, they seem to be more like concentrated, like people just haven't got a filter when it comes to car stuff. But one of the comments that I seem to have read quite frequently is, why do I hate my car? why do you hate the car? Sir, you appear to have bought a car without doing any research. You probably should have took it back and got something else. Why do you hate your car so much? Do you not? Well, for a start, I mean, do you not see the irony of writing that comment on the 7 likes and 7 dislikes video for a start? I mean, that just immediately invalidates you. How can I hate my car when I'm given 7 likes and 7 dislikes? Like, for the love of all that's fucking holy, come on. Wind your neck in, take a day off, go and touch some fucking grass. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Fucking love it. I don't hate my car, I really don't. But the reason why I have a couple of complaints about it isn't because I just like whinging for the sake of whinging. Not even slightly. It's because nothing in this world is perfect. I mean, the fact that I'm having to say this to a bunch of adults is just... the majority of people watching this, obviously, I don't want to patronize everybody, because most people have a reasonable head on their shoulders with a decent amount of IQ in there, but some people just think when you do something, it's going to be perfect. And I don't know if it's a case of people are looking on YouTube at people who own shit that they want, they can't have or don't have, and the fact that that person's complaining about something that they want just immediately triggers them. I don't know, but... Sorry. When you get the chance to do it, you just got to. It's not a case of just whinging for the sake of whinging. It's because there's so much content out there from like general media, right? Like mainstream media, access media. They get given a press car, and to ensure they get given the next press car, they just give it a glowing review and just talk all happy and positive about it. That's not how life is. I can imagine like a lot of these people who are like criticizing me for having complaints. Like they probably look at like gorgeous actresses on screen, as a random comparison. They probably look at supermodels and just then look at their boyfriend and go, "Oh, if I was you, man, oh my god, my life would be so happy just banging that all day. All I'd do is just sit. I would just be in bed with all day, just fucking slapping that ass. Do you know what I mean? I'd just be steaming ham all day. That's all I'd be doing. My life would be so happy." It's like, no, she probably like fucking leave shit stains in the toilet. She probably loves the dog more than she loves him. She's probably got a really annoying group of friends that really don't like you and make your life a misery. Not everything's perfect. Yeah, nice, right? Do you know what I mean? You can have a 10-bedroom mansion in the Cotswolds. Perfect, idyllic fucking country mansion. There's probably got a shit heating system. There's probably an absolute nightmare neighbour, right? There's probably people that walk through your land on a daily basis. Like, do you know what I mean? All these, what do they call them? Ramblers and that. Going, oh yes, I wanna. Oh, sorry, hang on a minute. What is what? Yes. When you can do it, you do it. Anyway. Yeah, so nothing is perfect. There's always little things to complain about. And the reason I do it here is because there's always going to be somebody looking to buy a car that needs to know or wants to know about these little things that you wouldn't necessarily hear on a general sort of press video. So that's why I do it. That's why I'm pointing out these things. And also it's not just that, but other people who've also bought the car who might have the same thoughts and feelings about the things that niggle them. Hearing somebody else say those things, it sort of validates that they're not crazy, right? It's not just them that are thinking this. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's not me beating on a car. I haven't spent like 70 grand on a car that I hate. I mean, for fuck's sake, come on. What are you doing? Come on, what are we talking about here? So no, I don't hate the car. It's still, to this day, it's the second best car that I've ever had. The F generation M4 that I had, the M4 convertible competition pack, still the best car, better than this one. But this one's second best. I absolutely love it. It gets more compliments day in and day out than the M4 ever did. I'm going to turn around, I'm going to boot it back down that road again. I just have to. Yeah, it gets more compliments than the M4 did. The colour is absolutely spectacular. Again, like so many people are like, you spent how much for a grey car? It's like, yep, I sure did. I don't regret it for a second. That's just what a feeling. What a feeling. Yeah, the colours are something else. It really is. It's like Lamborghini Grigio Telesto. And when people see it in person, it's, if you were to put this colour on any other car, it wouldn't be anything special, but on an M2 it looks something else. On that note, it's been, what, 5 months, something like that, since the facelift, the LCI, came out. I'm going to overtake this guy's. Woo! So I haven't seen many LCIs kicking about. I've seen a couple of black ones, the black on black, sorry, like everyone's in the comments are like, black wheels, man, so unoriginal. Really, black wheels are unoriginal. I tell you what, I mean, I was thinking about doing this, but I thought it's just so petty, it's not even worth it. You drive your car, leave your street, hit the main road and point out how many grey cars, or how many wheels are grey and how many wheels are black. About 1 in 15 to 1 in 20 cars will have black wheels. Everything is silver. Don't be fucking telling me black wheels are common. They are not. They're still in the minority of wheel colours, so just fucking shut up with that shit. I'm not hearing it. So there's not many LCIs. Black on black I've seen, beautiful. The best one I've seen so far though, which I'm not gonna lie, I looked at it and I thought, a little bit of buyer's remorse kicked in, a little bit of regret kicked in when I saw it. Voodoo Blue. It was a fucking beautiful sunny day in Newcastle. It was like it was Whitley Bay, and this Voodoo Blue LCI was kicking about. I was driving behind him actually. He had the full carbon kit on. I think he picked it up from Virtu in Durham. So I spoke to the guy in Sunderland, Virtu. I was like, yo, did you send me? He was like, no, it must be Durham. So I was like driving behind him, and it was like such a weird experience because it's like on one street there was 2 individual M2s, Grigio and Voodoo Blue. Like you'll rarely ever see that. You'll rarely ever see 2 cars like individual colours next to each other from the M2 line. And I was like driving behind him, and I didn't want to flash him. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be an obnoxious twat. So I sort of pulled alongside him. I was following him for about 5 minutes, thinking I just want to acknowledge his car, just like say, like, mate, fucking what a car. And then I got to a set of traffic lights, and I pulled up beside him, and I was just like this at him, and he was just fucking blinkers on. He just didn't see us, which is a shame. But I think I pulled away ahead of him as the traffic lights went green. He probably would have saw us when I did that, but just a shame. But that car was something else. Yeah, the Voodoo Blue in the sun, in direct sunlight, it was stunning. And for a second, I did think to myself, that's where it's at. That colour is something else. Again, though, you put that blue on another car, if you put that on like a fucking Honda Jazz or something, you know what I mean, like, or an Audi A3 S-Line, it just wouldn't look all that, or a Mini. But on the M2, it was something else, especially with the carbon pack, man, it was something else. So yeah, I thought I'd just do another video of us driving around, tooting around. Nothing much else to report really. Most of the niggles that I've had with the car that I've talked about in the past videos, they're all still there, do you know what I mean? It's not, but none of them are deal breakers. None of them really make us regret buying this car. I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed with the arch gap, but I've had a quote from BMW, the main dealer, to get the M suspension kit, like the official M suspension kit that doesn't invalidate warranties and that. It was going to be £2 grand. £2 grand to get rid of an arch gap. I'm like, no mate, come on. I'm not spending £2 grand to fix your daft design decision. It's not happening. So I might get a set of eye backs or something, put it on and get that arch gap reduced. There's an annoying noise coming from the steering column, which I've asked the dealer whether or not this is an expected sound, because it's an M car, right? It's not designed for comfort and silence. But I don't recall this noise being here from day one. But it's like turning the steering wheel when the car's idle, right? Because you can't hear it when you're moving. But it sounds like you're sawing wood. It's like that's what the sort of steering column sounds like. I'm not too bothered, like it doesn't affect the way you drive, you can't feel anything different, but the noise is a bit like uncomfortable to hear when you hear So I'm not too bothered. It's under warranty and all that, so I'm not too fussed. So that's an issue. The fuel economy is just, it is what it is. Like I've complained about, I'm not complaining, mentioned it again, just for people who are looking to buy the car, who need to know these things. The fuel economy hasn't got any better since the running service. I'm still averaging about 18 miles a gallon. Like I'm filling the car up, and I've done, how many miles have I done now in 5 months? 1,800 miles in 5 months, and I filled the tank of this car up more times already in 5 months than I did in 2 years of having an Audi Q7. It is absolutely ridiculous. The fuel economy is just ludicrous. It's obscene. But and it's because it's got such a small fuel tank. You know, if the fuel tank was maybe 30% bigger, it wouldn't be such an issue. But you're constantly filling this thing up, man, and I barely drive. Like, whilst I'm on camera now, I am driving a little bit more sprightly than I would otherwise drive. But normally, I'm just in like M1 mode, do you know what I mean? Exhausts are off, comfort mode the lot, and I'm just tooting around, just very casually. And it's still 18 to 20 miles per gallon. But yeah, that's not a complaint, because you don't buy a car like this for fuel economy, obviously. So I'm not grumbling too much about that. There are some other things that I've wanted to do to the car, which I haven't done yet. I'm still like, the car's still too new for me to want to modify. But I want to put the DSL yellow running lights in. I want to put a better exhaust on as well at some point. Like this one, it is too quiet. You know, like I've been walking around sort of Tynemouth, Whitley Bay, and I've heard some like M4s and some modified M2s sort of pull up at the traffic lights next to you, and the cinema of those cars pulling up with like an aftermarket exhaust on is just, oh, it just makes you think, oh, I wish mine was like that. But I'm a bit hesitant to do it because I don't want to end up with a car that's got that farty sort of like duck sound, like wah. The worst part of any aftermarket exhaust is like when you get a fucking fart on it on deceleration, like that kind of thing. I just don't want that. I don't want that at all. What I want is like, I want loud backfires. So when you decelerate, that kind of thing. But I don't want like a farty rasp on acceleration. So like, I'd have to research the shit out of it to find the right one. In things like carbon parts and stuff, again, I don't want to fork out for the full carbon pack. It's just too much. So like, trying to pick the right carbon parts without it looking unfinished, but also not looking too much, is another thing that I need to sort of figure out. But aside from that, man, mate, this car's fucking stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. I get more compliments for this car than any other car that I've had by a mile. And yeah, no regrets yet whatsoever. I'm still really looking forward to the summer, so I can boot it around properly and go out on some country roads and just hug it around. The launch control in this car is something that's sort of like, it started to wind me up a little bit, I must admit, because like the launch control is very, very different to what was in the F generation of cars. Like when you activate the launch control in this car, the car kind of like lurches because it hasn't got the DCT. Maybe it is personal opinion, maybe it is subjective, but in my opinion, having owned an F generation M4 with a DCT for 4 years, and now having owned this without the DCT for about 5 months, the DCT was a far better gearbox, hands down. This gearbox it's not a bad gearbox, but it's not great. The gear shifts are very slow. Even in like the third notch mode, where they are a little bit quicker, they're still not super fast. There's still times when you pull out at a roundabout in auto mode, and the car thinks you're taking off really quickly, but you're not. You're just pulling out onto the roundabout, like to get out, to get into a gap. But the car's like, oh, we're racing you. Sort of like, it'll pick second gear, and then it'll just, and it'll not pick third because it thinks, oh, well, you set off fast, mate. So whatever, I'm not picking third. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to give it the beans in second. It's like, no, man. Sort of like sit there in second gear, sort of tooting away, thinking, man. So you're like idling, like, come on, we'll change gear already. But yeah, the launch control is probably the biggest down point of this. I even had to contact the dealership and ask them if my launch control was broken, because you turn off DSC, you wait for the car to be warmed up, you put it in manual mode, third notch, Yeah, you sit idle, hit the brake, and then you follow the accelerator, and the car starts to move. The car starts to lurch forward. It does that thing where like the front end starts to lift, and then it bites. And for me, like having, again, just I think anyone would feel this. Moving with the brake pedal being firmly pushed down is immediate uncomfortable mode. Do you know what I mean? Like you just don't want to feel that. And I wonder if I can actually reproduce it here. I'm going to pull over. So I'm going to go into M2 mode. Right, I'm going to put it into launch controls. I'm going to turn DSC off. Right. So you put your foot on the brake, then you slam the accelerator. Right. You see how the car moves there? That feels really uncomfortable and really unnatural. And I can hear the car sort of like cranking as well. And to me, it feels like the car's wanting to move, but the brakes are acting against it. So I feel like I'm burning the brakes out, or I'm doing something that shouldn't be happening. In the DCT, I don't pretend to understand how gearboxes work and all that, right? But in the DCT, to my knowledge, it always had the next gear lined up because it's a double clutch. If you're in third, it had fourth ready to go. So when you upshifted, it was instant. The DCT had down points, right? It did have downsides, but generally it was a much better gearbox. It was much faster. And the same was with launch control. So when you're in neutral, it had first gear ready to go for launching. So you didn't get that sort of lurch forward effect. It was just completely idle. And it just feels really uncomfortable to me. Let's call it, go past, I'll do it again. Oh, fuck. Nah, I see. Nah, nothing about that makes me feel good. I feel like I'm burning the brakes out, I'm burning something out. I'm a bit hot. I'm a bit hot and like flustered, thinking what have I just done to the car? It just doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel comfortable. So yeah, but once launch control goes, this car, the only one I've got to compare against for launch control is the M4. This one feels a lot more unstable than the M4 did. The few times I have actually took off and given the beans some launch control, like the car's been like fishtailing and stuff, and like I felt like I'm going to lose it as it's pulling away. Didn't get that in the M4. The M4 was pretty slick, it was pretty smooth. This feels more like batshit, do you know what I mean? It feels more like unhinged, which some people would like. But there was one point where like the car, the back end started to like oversteer as I was going in a straight line. I thought I was going to lose it. But apart from that, do you know what I mean? Like the car's been sound, absolutely sweet. Not a single problem with it. The steering column might be a problem, I don't know, but nothing confirmed yet. Other than that, it's honestly, absolutely love this thing. It's amazing. I'm not going to go over all the other complaints that I've had. They still stand, they're still valid. So I'm not going to repeat them, but none of them are deal breakers. Like I said before, I'm only mentioning them so that other people who are looking to buy this car know about them. Do you know what I mean? There's some awareness there. The width of the car. There's a lad that comments on a couple of these videos called Nicholas. Nicholas is driving academy, and he's mentioned like the width of the car. And like originally, I wasn't that bothered about the width of the car because I was coming out of the Q7, but now I am starting to get a little bit like I'm pulling through gaps. I'm like darting through sort of like narrow roads, and the width of the car is now becoming a little bit of a thing. I haven't clipped anything yet, but I've been close to it. But yeah, anyway, I'm back home. Thanks for watching, and I'll make a video the next time I've got something to talk about, which I don't know when that's going to be because there's nothing much to really say. Cheery bye, toodles.